I'm Dr. Matthew Joseph from Milford Public Schools, and I'm the Director of Digital Learning and Innovation for the district. And previous to coming to Milford, I was a principal for 11 years in Attleboro and Natick. And one of the things that I saw is that students' retention of skills increased dramatically when they were a part of the learning. So I'm going to be talking a little bit about active learning today. And when I say active learning, I'm talking about students taking an active part in the learning, not just consuming content. Because I talk about a lot that students don't come to school to watch teachers work. They come to school to be part of the learning. Think about if you're going to run a 5K race. You're not going to hire a trainer and watch the trainer run. The trainer's going to teach you how to own the skills of running and getting your stamina up. And that's what teachers are going to do for students in an active learning environment. They're going to include them in the learning. We see a lot of teachers posting I can statements or the objective on the board. I fully understand that. I've read Skill for Teacher. I understand that. But I like to work in an environment where at the end, the students can talk about what they did. What are teachers doing in their classrooms to empower students to be part of the learning? Asking probing questions is the first part of that. Starting a lesson with an overarching idea and then asking probing questions. At that point, teachers can step out of the way and allow the students to interact with the content. Maybe the overarching question is around pollution, and the teacher asks, can you elaborate on this subject? Can you do research about this? Where are some rivers or air that is polluted? And allow the students to take that learning and make it their own. Maybe they do research, they like to research. Maybe they like to act, and they create a scene about some of the learning that they had. Then when they come back to present it, the students are becoming the learners they want to be. And the teacher is the facilitator of that learning and brings the best out of the student. And then it becomes a give and take. Because with that type of learning, students can be creative. They're not just doing the one thing that they have to reach the one answer. Students are active in the research, then they're active in the presentation, and this is where a teacher can come in and ask those probing questions. Can you elaborate? Can you give me more on that subject? Can you be more specific? Or how can you use this topic in another arena? So the teacher is now training those muscles, going back to that coach when I talked about running that 5K, the teacher is doing the same thing for the learners. They are getting those learners involved in what they are doing each and every day. And then the students can be even more creative and go further with their opportunities. Maybe the teacher would like them to publish their work online through blogging, through YouTube video. However, you can think about making students' work visible in an active learning environment. Students will have that flexibility. When teachers work in an I did environment, students are proud of their work. They are authentic in their learning, and they can express in the way that they would like. There's been many research, one I've read with Edgar Dale, he did a research that students retain 90% when they are actively involved in learning. And I think that's what we all want. However, they only retain 10% of what they hear. So when we talk about active learning environments, we would like a classroom where students are actively engaged in the learning, teachers are facilitating the knowledge, students are then being creative, and within that, the last piece I want to talk about, in that active learning environment, students are taking risks. They're making errors, they're learning from their mistakes, and they're becoming resilient learners. And at the end, once they've dove into the learning, the teacher facilitated this discussion, the end of that lesson, the students express what they did. And that is when the retention is going to increase. And in education, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make the classroom as dynamic as the world around us. And when teachers do that and create that active learning environment, students are going to retain the information, have ownership, and be authentic learners.